Today I'm going to show you how I decorated this 50th anniversary cake. Come join me. So in advance of actually decorating this cake, I had to go through and create the topper for the cake. So I'm making a wedding band and a diamond ring to go on top of this cake. So I'm using some white fondant here. I cut out a round circle of fondant, pretty thick, and then I put a hole into the center and just kind of separated it till we got the hole in the ring. Then I cut that thicker piece into two so that I now have two separate rings. So I'm just shaping these into the shape of a ring, and I will move forward with decorating those in a bit. So once I left these sit for several days to get nice and hard, I went back and I painted these with some luster dust mixed with some vodka. So I painted them gold to go for our gold wedding band and a golden diamond ring. I had also made a small diamond out of fondant also, and I just kind of shaped it to have a diamond in the center, and along with that, two pieces of gold, kind of the fittings to hold that in place as if it were a real diamond ring. So after this was all painted, I left it dry again for several days. In a second, you'll see me painting the diamond and the golden fixture of the diamond ring. And here that is. And again, I left this sit for several days to let it get nice and dry and to harden very well. So once I was ready to assemble this, I put that top diamond piece onto the ring and I left it dry super hard. And then I went back, painted the diamond silver, the golden part gold, and then I went, spread some golden luster dust spray across the ring to really make it shine. And I also then added some piping gel and then sprinkled some silver glitter onto the diamond part to make the diamond part sparkle. And this is what that looked like. And then it came time to decorate the cake. So this was a full sheet cake here. Here you see me just cutting up some golden ribbon that I'm going to put some ribbon on top of the cake. So this cake is going to be a half sheet cake. Half of it will be vanilla and half of it will be chocolate. And very shortly I will begin decorating the cake. So I'm going to add some buttercream icing to the cake board to hold it in place so that the cakes don't move as I'm trying to decorate. Once I have just some icing down onto the board, I'm going to add the two cakes to the board as well. And these are frozen cakes. It's not dry cake, it's just that it is frozen, so it's a little more firm than what it may look. So then I started to go back and just kind of begin to coat this cake. So you'll see me filling in the gaps and covering this cake with a first coat of buttercream icing. And once I have that fully coated, I will then go back and I will ice the cake with a final layer of icing. Here you see me just trying to square up those edges so that we have a nice crisp edges that are squared off well. You'll see me adding the icing to make sure that it is fully covered, fully iced, and you don't see that cake coming through. It always looks like so much icing when it's going on, but you just want to make sure that you don't see any of that cake coming through the icing. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my icing. I want it to be a golden buttercream. So I'm adding some vegetable oil into a bowl along with lots of luster dust, and I'm mixing that up very well. Then I'm going to spread this mixture into a piping a piping bag, as you can see here, with a paintbrush. And then I'm going to put my buttercream into the center so that when it comes out, you can see here, as I'm doing this border, that we're getting a bit of a gold piping coming out of our bag. So I'm just doing a shell border here along the top, and then I'm going to use a spray luster dust, and I'm going to spray so that this golden border comes out even more golden, because this is a 50th anniversary cake, and that is a huge deal. So here you see me using that to spray to make that more of a golden border. I will do the same thing on the bottom. Here you'll see that I'm using a smaller piping tip than the one on top. And you'll also notice I will switch my bag here because my color started to get a bit lighter. So I wanted to make sure that it was pretty gold the whole way around. And you see me switching back here. There you go. I just want it to be pretty prominent, as this is such a big deal of an anniversary. And again, I'm spraying that luster dust onto the side to make that very gold. And with that, I'm going to begin to decorate the top of the cake, adding some more luster dust. I'm writing Happy 50th Anniversary Mom and Dad on the top of this cake. Here I'm going to add the 2 rings that I made, make sure that I have enough space for those. And here I'm writing Mom and Dad down on the bottom right-hand side of this cake. Now I'm going back onto the writing of this cake, and I'm painting it a bit with that same, like the gold luster dust with some vodka to spray, to really just cover that writing with more gold. I want it to really stand out. Again, golden anniversary for the 50th anniversary. So I wanted it to be very gold, and with it as it wasn't quite as bold as I wanted it to be. So now I'm going back and I'm just adding some different decorations along the cake, some swirls, some dots, some ribbon looking writing onto the cake. And I'm going to go back and do the same thing and paint those decorations with that gold luster dust and vodka mixture. I'm sure you can hear the background here. I'm actually in a hotel room with my husband, and we're definitely struggling with the small space here with me recording. Here I am adding those ribbons that you saw me making earlier, and I'm just adding those periodically throughout the cake, sporadically throughout the cake, I'm sorry. Just to add some additional pop of gold to the cake. And I'm also going to add some golden pearls to the cake as well. So you'll see me momentarily kind of dropping those along the outside of the cake. And once I have the ribbons and the pearls all placed onto the cake, that is going to wrap up the full definition of this cake, and it will be complete. Here's those pearls I mentioned. I'm going to add another swirl ribbon here and some more pearls. And with that, this is what my cake looks like. And if you enjoyed watching this, I encourage you to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time spent with us for this video.